We've learned what people expect us to be. We've learned what's expected as we grow up. You can imagine yourself as a spiritual being with lots and lots of strings of twine. So you're a being of light. You can imagine these strings of twine going round and round and round you. In the work that we do, we want to be looking at these agreements. We want to look at our beliefs in the light of day, to have the willingness to first love ourselves with all our faults. That's the shadow part of ourself. We got to acknowledge sometimes we are this, sometimes we're that. Part of what we want to do is have the willingness to say, okay, I'm not just this person, this perfect person who's so nice. I have to own those parts of myself. If I want to get to a place where I can love, accept, and approve of myself, that means I do it totally. And I understand that I'm doing the best that I can today. The willingness is first to love ourselves where we are and accept all of our faults, and then have the willingness to release these threads, these tiny threads or these agreements, these old ideas one by one. Now there's lots of ways to do that. We will teach them in this class week by week. We can teach you how to do really powerful affirmative prayer. We can just educate here. Your critical dialogue with yourself, you'll begin to drop that. I used to look in the mirror and say, oh, you're a dumb whatever. Let it go and replace it. As you do this, you're going to become more willing, a more willing person, to someone who's willing to see the good in every kind of situation. You'll be neutralizing the racket of thoughts or the critic that lives inside of you that's creating havoc. Lovingly embrace ourselves totally so we can move forward. And when you were a young child, you had all this light and this joy that just shone spontaneously, naturally. You were completely full of joy, and you could play and laugh and respond authentically because you had not yet been socialized. Over time, this light could not be seen as well. As you can imagine, those twines of those agreements coming round and round and round, and all that radiance, that brilliance, gone, or at least most people couldn't see it anymore. As we learn how to be more acceptable in the world, we were covering the self up more and more with layers of smoky threads. It was hard for people to see the light in one another because most people had created the same thing for themselves.